And there's a lot of talk here at home about the counteroffensive. You hear about the counteroffensive, and the media was a bit gleeful, I think, early last week when they first started talking about this. I've noticed, Scott, that they're not saying a whole lot right now about the counteroffensive. They did for a couple of days. I'm thinking that the counteroffensive isn't going all that well.
Well, the counteroffensive, first of all, you can talk the big show all you want. And that's what the West has been doing. Talk. They've been talking about the need for a counteroffensive since last October. General Zaluzny told General Miley exactly what he needed, the number of tanks, number of empty fighting vehicles, artillery pieces, stuff. And then they've been talking about what they have to do for the counteroffensive to be a success, to basically carve through the narrowest part of the Russian defensive lines to reach the Sea of Azov and fracture the land bridge to create conditions that Crimea is now threatened, etc. You've telegraphed your punch all you want. I can sit there and schedule a fight with Mike Tyson in his prime and say, Iron Mike, I'm going to kick your butt. Iron Mike, I'm going to come in on round one. It's going to be tap, 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 bam. You're going down, Iron Mike. You're going down. I can talk all about it and everything, but at the end of the day, when I get in the round with Iron Mike, it's going to be him going tap, 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 down, and I'm down for the count because Iron Mike knows how to fight, and all I know how to do is talk. And that's unfortunately what's happened with Ukraine. We took these Ukrainians, soldiers, 60,000 of them. We turned them into 12 brigades. We equipped them with Western equipment, and we provided them with rudimentary Western training. You can't take people. It takes NATO. First of all, let's understand that NATO is asking Ukraine to do something that NATO can't do.
Yeah.
There's not a NATO force out there, including the United States, that could crack that Russian defense. The Russian defense that's been built has been designed by Colonel General Alexander Romanchuk. He is the lead instructor at the Combined Arms Academy of Russia, and he's written the book on modern Russian defensive doctrine. Okay, so this is the guy who wrote it. He published his results in March, and then the Russians have designed their defenses in Zaporizhia and Donetsk based upon his doctrine. And then they pulled him out of the academy and they said, you're in command. So the guy who wrote the book around which the defenses were designed is in command of the troops that he has handpicked and trained to operate this. You couldn't do a better job of making the Russians more impregnable than they are. And the Russians specialize in defensive operations. That's their forte. I think I'm one of the few people alive who actually have planned a multi-division breaching operation against a enemy dug in doctrinal fashion. I'm talking about the Marine Corps assault on the Iraqi defenses in Kuwait. I spent from October through December of 1990 doing computer simulations on how to breach these defenses. We built the defenses using aerial maps. We populated using accurate order of battle, and we gave everybody what we deemed to be accurate appraisal of their capabilities. We did that with the Marines, and after months of trying, we came up with the perfect way. And the simulation we ran in December is exactly how the battle unfolded in February. So I think we did a good job. That means I think I know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah.
Ukrainians NATO has a system I think they call Cora. I'm going to have to double check on that, but it's a computer simulation system similar to the one that I used to war game the Marine breach of the Iraqi defensive lines. And NATO uses Cora to train NATO forces at the Grafenvor area on force issues, to war game things electronically. And what they did is they took Cora and they did what I did with the Iraqi defenses. They superimposed the Russian defenses in Ukraine. And then they populated it. That's inputting data into the various data sets. Their data input, though, included things such as, we're going to attack the 42nd Combined Arms Rifle Division. Why the 42nd? Because of the 3 regiments that it has, one of them, the 70th, did really, really bad in April of 2022. Got overextended, lost a battalion, demoralized, retreated, regrouped. When the Russians mobilized the 300,000 in the fall of last year, many of those troops went to the 70th. So the 70th is a reconstituted unit that consists primarily of mobilized forces. We have programmed the mobilized people to run away. Literally, it's the Monty Python solution. Search for the Holy Grail. What are you going to do when Ukrainian soldiers show up? Run away, run away, run away. We've programmed the Russians to have no command and control. So they're going to hit the seam between the 70th and the 91st, the other regiment. They're not going to be able to effectively control. So you're going to breach the seam. We've programmed the Russians not to have effective artillery. So we'll be able to rapidly penetrate into the rear area, thereby replicating what happened in September in the Kharkov offenses. And that's the program. And that's what these Ukrainians were trained on for 1 month. They were trained on combined arms warfare, the most complicated kind of warfare imaginable. It takes Marines and Army, U.S. Army people years to master. And we're going to not only train them on this, but at the same time, train them to use the equipment that we've given them, new equipment that they never used before in their life. And then we took them and we said, attack. They went into the teeth of the most heavily fortified area in the world, occupied by troops specifically trained for the task, commanded by the guy who designed it, knows what he's doing. They took troops who are unprepared, don't know what they're doing, have bad equipment, bad doctrine, and they were lied to by the computer because the computer said, all you have to do is show up and the Russians will run away. They've shown up and they're all dead. All right, 7,500 frontline deaths by the Ukrainians since this offensive has started. That doesn't count the 5,000 plus guys who are dying in the assembly areas because the Russians hit them with glide bombs, long-range artillery, surface-to-surface missiles. Why are they able to get through? Because the Ukrainians don't have an air defense system. Why don't they have an air defense system? Because the Russians have spent the last several months taking it apart. The Ukrainians don't have an air force, so there's nothing to interdict the Russians. So the Russians have supremacy in the air, supremacy of artillery fires, and they have the best people running the best defenses with the best troops fighting the Ukrainians. This counteroffensive was over before it began. All that's left right now is to count the number of dead bodies that will accrue. And believe me, all of the Ukrainians who participate in this counteroffensive will either be dead, wounded, prisoners of war, or they will be the ones running away. Cora got it wrong. The computer lied.
Wow. 7,500, huh? So I had heard it was something like a 7-to-1 ratio, like 7 Ukrainians to every 1 Russian soldier dying in this. Is that right, or did it get even?
It's gotten even worse. There's no way the Russians lost 1,000 troops. On day one, the Ukrainians lost 1,500 dead, and the Russians lost 71.
71?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I would imagine that while Ukrainian artillery might have gotten a little bit better and some of the fighting might have become more intense, I can't imagine that I think the ratio is around 15-to-1, 20-to-1 in favor of Russia.
Man, and nobody, of course, here in the West is reporting that. I mean, just from a taxpayer standpoint, say, you're one of these people that thinks that, we need to go after Putin and we need to shut him down. We are spending a lot of money, Scott, and apparently we're not getting any return on our investment whatsoever. I mean, this is just from, a common sense perspective, just pouring more money into this. I mean, 3 days ago, something like 325 billion. No, not that much, but maybe.
Billion.
Was it that much? 325, and then.
Well, I think the current.
No, 2.1. And then another 325 million, I think I heard yesterday. So, right. And people just blink. They go, okay. I mean, yeah. And it's both sides of the aisle, Scott. I mean, I don't know, normally you would have some kind of oversight. I think Rand Paul was a guy who mentioned oversight, and he got screamed at and shouted down, said he was unpatriotic, didn't love his country. Was a Putin lover. You get that right away. I mean, you must love Vladimir Putin, I mean, I love humanity. I'd like to see this end. I'd like to see the Ukrainians not be slaughtered. Wouldn't that be a goal of a foreign policy to say, hey, let's not have all of these people dead? Does anybody care?
Not in the United States, not in Europe. I mean, you care, but nobody in government cares. We're willing to sacrifice, as Lindsey Graham said, we're willing to fight to the last Ukrainian.
Wow.
That's how brave we are.
That's insane.
And you mentioned taxpayer money.
Maybe it's not. It's just printed. I'm sorry. It's just printed money. I'm sorry. It's just we're running
right. But when it translates into equipment purchased, you know, some people were talking about just on the Zaporizhia front alone, the Ukrainians were losing $70 million worth of equipment per day, and then you factor in the cost of training the troops that are dead and dying and all that stuff. You're probably looking at around $120 million lost a day.
A day. A day.
Right.
We're losing $120 million a day.
Yeah, and that's something that Americans will understand. You say it doesn't matter. You say you lost 1,500 men a day. We don't care about the Ukrainians. It is literally meaningless to us. I just wrote an article about this counteroffensive, and I likened it to bullfighting. You know, and then the horror of the arena and the slaughter of the bull. And that's what we are. Americans are the scum of the earth because we sit in the arena and we clap at the blood being spilled and we cheer at the colors and the flash, but we don't understand that whom we're cheering on is a bull that doesn't want to be there and is goaded into fighting by people who stick him with spears to bleed him before he gets to the front. And it's all a brutal, sick game that ends either with the bull getting lucky and goring the matador, or the matador sliding a sword in and murdering the bull. But either way, people are dying. There's nothing positive that comes out of this experience. Welcome to the Ukrainian war.
Yeah. Wow. So the last couple of days, Scott, obviously in the news, and I'll probably end here. I kind of wanted to get your take on all this. Yesterday, there was a little bit of a thing that happened down in Miami where the former president of the United States was there answering, was it like 37 counts? And then there are multiple counts within there. And I heard Chris Christie say that that's only just a portion of what the government case has against Donald Trump. You know a lot about top secret documents, I'm assuming, or things that are classified versus things that a president can declassify. Have you looked at this at all? And I was just curious as to what your just sort of overarching Cliff Notes version of what's going on is here.
Well, there's a couple of things here. One, let's just start with the basic premise that no man is above the law.
Yeah.
No man is above the law. So if President Trump has committed crimes, he should be held accountable for those crimes. I'm not somebody who believes this because he's a former president, he's immune. No, if he broke the law, pay the price. I mean, we've got to be sort of smart about this, though. He is, after all, former president of the United States. So you don't want to prosecute him for stupid things. For instance, what they're doing in New York. You know, did the president do any of these financial crimes that they're talking about? Probably. It's a misdemeanor. So you're going to ruin American political discourse by prosecuting. That's called stupid. Right. Prosecutors have discretion. There's prosecutorial discretion. It happens every day of the year. Where prosecutors say, we choose not to prosecute. Hell, in California, I could break into a Walmart, steal $5,000 worth of food, and walk out. I just broke the law, but they made a decision. They're not going to prosecute me because apparently the process of prosecution is too disruptive to society. What the hell do you think when you're going after a former president who has the support that he has today with stupid charges? That's the problem. These are stupid charges. Don't talk to me about national security, especially you idiots in the media that know nothing about national security. First of all, every media talking head that's out there talking about the importance of national security has gleefully received leaked information from a source and talked about it on TV, putting American lives at risk. They're all hypocrites. They're all cowards. But here's the important thing. The media people don't have declassification authority. So when they receive a classified document, they're sort of breaking the law by talking about it. Now, people say that's freedom of speech, not prosecution. That may be. But you're releasing classified information. You've received it. You're unauthorized to receive it. That's the case. Donald Trump was the president of the United States. Donald Trump has the soul. He's the only person in America that can wake up in the morning and say, I don't believe in national secrets anymore. I believe that everything should be free to the public. And the moment he says it, it is. Welcome to the reality of executive power. Now, Congress may say, We think that's stupid, and we're going to impeach you because we don't agree, and because impeachment is a political process, not a legal process, and you get enough members of Congress to believe that what the president has done, while he may have the authority, is an abuse of power, therefore we will impeach him, remove him from office. That's fine. Let that happen. Look, America has to understand, when you elected Donald Trump to office, and we knew what we were getting, if we pretend that we didn't know, that is half the allure of Donald Trump is because he's not the establishment. He doesn't play by the rules. He's the bad boy. We like that. Disruption, drain the swamp. Okay, so you bring that guy in. You think he's going to be the guy that sits down and goes, now, when you hand me classified information, every document's going to be accounted for. And then when I receive it, after I read it, we're going to do a bigot sheet to make sure whoever saw it, we know who saw it, and we account for all this stuff. Right, guys? Right, guys? That's what we're going to do, guys? That's not Donald Trump. Holy shit, oh man, this document. This is cool as hell. I'm going to keep it. Mr. President's top secret. Not anymore. It's mine. Bitches, you elected me. Therefore, it is what it is, and I made it. Here's the thing. You have the Department of Justice politicizing itself, going after the president for something that Mike Pence did, Joe Biden did, everybody did. If you go in the house of any one of these idiots out there, you'll find piles of classified documents because they exist. We've overclassified everything. It's all out there. Everybody takes it home. CIA directors take it home. I would go to the home of the CIA director right now, and I promise you, I will find classified documents that are not properly secured. I would go to the home of every assistant defense secretary in America. I will find the same thing. It's in their goddamn cars. It's in their homes, in their bathrooms, in their garages. It's everywhere because it doesn't matter. When you're that senior, classification doesn't matter. Stuff happens all the time. So now the president comes in, but because he didn't want to play the game, because he said, I'm the president, I can do whatever I want to do. That's why you guys elected me. Remember, I can stand on Fifth Avenue, fire a bullet down, kill somebody, and you'll still vote me in.
Yeah,
that's
he did say
God's honest truth. So that man becomes president. Now we're supposed to go, oh my God, he didn't obey the rules. First of all, the rules are not the law. The rules exist for everybody, because nobody in America can do it. As I told you, Donald Trump can simply wake up and say, I deem these top secret documents to be secret. Yeah. Therefore, they are no longer top secret. People say, well, there's methodology, there's procedures. No, there isn't, because the Constitution has given the president this authority, and that has been tested by the Supreme Court in a case. And the decision was the president is the sole classifying authority, which means he alone gets to make the rules. No one else. You can't be the sole classifying authority and be held prisoner by lesser beings who say, well, yes, but you have to do it this way. Bull crap. The president said, I want it done. He did it done. Do I agree with what he did? No. Am I happy about what he did? Nope. Do I wish he didn't do it? Yep. Would I like to see people hold him to account by shaming him? Yep. I will say to my last breath, Mr. President, you are stupid. You can't treat our national secrets that way. That's not how it works, pal. We gave you this authority not so that you can flaunt it, but so that you use it properly. And you did not use it properly. You're a piece of scum. You might have put lives at risk. I hate you. But you didn't commit a crime. You didn't commit a crime. And that's the thing. DOJ has been weaponized. They're going after this man for political purposes. And you know, you and I have had this talk, and I know a lot of your supporters get angry at me when I tell them how much I don't love Donald Trump. No. But I will tell you right now, I want that man to be president so bad right now.
Really?
I want him to be president so bad, just because of everything they're doing to him. I want him to be president just to say, screw you, America.
That surprises me, because like I said, the last time you and I had a chat.
I don't like him. Again, it wouldn't be because I'm like, hey, Donnie Trump, oh, Donnie baby, I love you, my heart breaks for you. It is, America is fundamentally broke. Right. Fundamentally broke, and the Department of Justice has corrupted itself to the nth degree. The Biden administration is a criminal organization.
True.
And when you look at all that, what does America deserve? Donald Trump. That's what we deserve. That's what we earn. So get this scum back into the White House and let him finish the job of destroying the establishment, because the establishment deserves to be destroyed. But remember, you get what you ask for. So when Donnie J comes back into the White House, please don't expect it to be the smooth running machine. It's going to be ugly. But that's Donnie J's way. And we need Donnie J to destroy the American establishment because it is a corrupt thing that no longer represents what we the people want. And apparently we the people don't mind a president who reaches out and grabs him by the pussy. We don't mind a president that sits there and cheers on people on the Capitol. We don't mind a president that treats classified information like it's crap. We don't care. So therefore, if we don't care, put him back in office until we do care.
Wow. That was one of your best rants ever, I have to say. I mean, you were the guy, though, that really educated me on J6. Like, hey, you can't interfere with a government proceeding. I mean, they're doing
firmly believe that.
College.
But remember, the people have to consent to being governed. The people have to consent. The key thing about government is that we say we consent to being governed. And we consent to the rules. The problem about my position on J6 is that I'm a strict constitutionalist.
Yeah.
I've read the document. I breathe the document. I live the document. Anyways, I am the document. No one else in America apparently is.
Yeah.
No one else in America has read the document. They don't care about the document. And this is what I'm learning, is that the rules don't matter. And that's the rules don't matter. That's the attitude of the people. They don't care about the rules because the rules then become laws that get abused by the government. And when the government weaponizes the Department of Justice, go after Donald Trump, when Joe Biden is the biggest criminal scum-sucking pig that ever walked the face of the earth, sitting in the White House with a son who is all those things that you wonderful people call me. All the names you call me, and you like to put out. Well, first of all, fuck you. I'm not that, but we're not going to go down that route. You know who is that? Hunter Biden is that. Hunter. There's photographic evidence of that.
I've seen the
there.
Pictures.
It's all there.
I can't unsee it, actually.
Well, I don't even want to look at it. It's just literally, fuck you people. That's the guy who is everything you've accused me wrongly of being. He's there, and his father, who facilitated that in the White House, and you're not doing anything about it, but you're going to turn the DOJ on Donnie J because Donnie J decided that he wasn't going to play the game when it comes to classified information, a game nobody plays. Especially the media. I'm sick and tired of hearing the media talk about, oh my God, classified information. Oh my God. But it's, trust me, I've been there. Hey, Scott, you got anything?
Yeah.
I mean, you told me about this. You got to document this shit up. I'm like, no, because that's like a violation of the fucking law. I can't retain it. It's classified. It's in a safe, not in my house. Call a government official that doesn't give a shit about the law. Maybe they have it at their home and they'll give it to you. But the media are scum-sucking pigs, literally. These are people who violate that notion every day. There's nothing classified because freedom of the speech, freedom of the press, da-da-da. It's okay for them to reach out and grab classified information and release it without any consequence to the American public. I applaud Julian Assange for doing that because of the things he exposed, the lies that were hidden behind walls of classification. So the media is like, well, we can do it. Well, who the fuck elected you, media? Not a single goddamn person elected you. And then suddenly you're the one enforcing this notion of freedom of speech. Now it's applied. Well, we did vote Donald Trump into office. He is the fucking president. And we said, you get to do whatever the fuck you want with classified information because that's what law says. DOJ has been weaponized against Donald J. Trump. This is a travesty. This is an assault on us all. Because if they can go after Donnie J, they can go after you, they can go after me. I know they can go after me. They can go after anybody because that's what they fucking do. They don't like the American people. So that's why I'm saying if the American people, when I'm listening, are telling me we don't give a fuck, then I don't give a fuck. Therefore, I want Donnie J back in the presidency because I don't give a fuck anymore. Because that's what we need. We need a president that doesn't give a fuck about this system, about these laws, about the fucking Constitution, because apparently none of it fucking matters anymore. We are a lawless nation. The moment you allow the Department of Justice to be weaponized for political purposes, there is no Department of Justice, there is no law. And that's where we are today.
Wow. All right. I didn't expect that. I know you go on a lot with Judge Napolitano, who I respect, and he was saying things like there's certain things in there that Trump has that no president can declassify, and he shouldn't have ever had those documents. And
but that's not true. Judge Napolitano is wrong. President can declassify anything he wants to. He is the ultimate classifying authority. No one else gets to make a rule that governs the president, except the Constitution, and the Supreme Court has interpreted the Constitution to say the president is the only sole, highest possible classification authority.
No matter what, no matter what. There's our plan of attack, and some people are even connecting it to the Iraq War and all this stuff. Like he had stuff, like he had war gaming and all this stuff, and you're saying it doesn't matter.
I'm saying, well, no.
Oh, okay. No, you're not saying it doesn't matter.
I didn't say it doesn't matter.
Right.
I think I made it clear.
Right.
I don't want him doing this.
Okay.
That it does matter. There are consequences. There are ramifications. America will pay a heavy price from a national security perspective. No nation will entrust us with their secrets again. So intelligence sharing out the window. Oh, it matters. Except to the American people, who apparently don't care about any of this shit, and therefore. And it also doesn't matter from a legal perspective. You see, I would have no problem with everybody saying, hey, Donnie J, play golf, do whatever you want, but you're never getting near the White House again because you suck as a president because A, you don't appreciate the Constitution the way you're supposed to, and B, you don't treat classified material with the respect necessary because people like me, Scott Ritter, put our lives on the line to collect that goddamn information, and other people like me sit in a building and spend a lot of time working on behalf of the American people to turn that into assessments that then guide policymakers so that we can have policies that actually preserve liberty, life, the pursuit of happiness, things we're supposed to care about in America. That's what I care about, Mr. President. Apparently you don't fucking care about it because you want to put that thing in a goddamn shitter. All right? So fuck off, Donnie J. That's the way it should be, but apparently not. And again, when you take the Department of Justice and you weaponize it to go after a president who has not committed a crime, because you can't commit a crime. I'm not a big Jim Jordan fan. Don't like him. But you have to agree with him here.
Yeah.
The president, you can't. Everybody's like, obstruction of justice. How could you fucking obstruct justice if you haven't committed a goddamn crime? So I mean, are we at the situation now where they, like they did with Michael Flynn, they come in with no crime, set him up with the FBI, put him in a possible situation, and then catch him in a little lie, go, you lied to a federal officer, you're now the biggest criminal in the world. No, the biggest criminal in the world was the federal officer coming before him on false pretense, trying to elicit a lie so you can prosecute him because you don't have anything on him.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Process crime. That's what they call it. It's a process crime. Well, again, and that lends a lot of credibility to the people who just think everybody's out to get Trump. Alan Dershowitz, he's one of those guys. I think he wrote a whole book about it. It's really bad for the country, Scott, because we never, the thing about the Trump circus is we never talk about, I mean, people don't know anything about what we discussed in the first part of this video. They have no idea about the offensive, the counteroffensive. They don't know really how that war's going. They don't really know about, I mean, nobody reports how much money we're putting out there because we're focused. Donald Trump is so good for the news media, and I'd be surprised if he gets completely thrown under the bus because they're not interested in talking about like RFK Jr. or Ron DeSantis or anybody. They would rather talk about Trump forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. Look, I'll say this about Donald Trump too, and I may have talked about this before. There's a couple standards I use when judging people, and one standard is the golf standard. Because I'm a golfer. I'm a golfer. Yep. And therefore I can go out on the golf course, and this is a 100% foolproof standard. 100%, except the only exception is, and now we come down to the people that don't give a fuck about golf. All right? And they exist, and I applaud them. So if all you want to do is come out on the golf course, pop open a beer, get drunk, hack, and have fun,
right?
I love you, baby. I love you, but you're not a golfer. Okay? You're a hacker. A golfer comes in, somebody who has surrounded himself with the culture of golf and, most importantly, the etiquette and the rules of golf. Golf is a very etiquette and rule-driven game. And so now I will watch people who claim to be golfers, and I watch them play golf. And the first thing is I watch them when they tee off. When you get on the tee box, you have two markers. These are the tee markers. And I also oftentimes see people come in and tee their ball ahead of the marker.
Yeah.
In the big scheme of things, who the fuck cares? Problem is, in golf, it matters. That's not allowed. And you just told me you don't give a shit about the rules because you're going to tee up wherever the fuck you want to tee up from. All right? So right off the bat, I'm worried. Now you hit, and I get up there, and I watch you come to your ball, and it's in a divot. And God, you didn't want it to be in divot. So you take your iron and you sort of flip it out of the divot and you move it around till you get it to right where you want the perfect line on the grass. You're a cheating sack of shit because you just committed about 15 strokes worth of penalties, but you didn't declare it on yourself. Now you hit it into the sand trap, and you come to the sand trap, and it's in the little fried egg thing. So you flip it out of the fried egg. Can't do that. That's more strokes. And then you sit down, and then because you want to get it up there, you take your sand iron and you sort of carve a little gap underneath the ball so it can come in. You can't do that. It's grounding the club in the sand thing. And then you do that, boom. It comes up, comes down, boom. You don't count the stroke. And then it comes on the green. You mark it. You put the marker down, ball. But then when you come down, you inch the ball forward there. And then you hit your putt, and it goes up to the hole, lips out, but you tap it back in. And I turn to you, go, what'd you get? You say, par. You're a lying sack of shit, and that's how you will treat life. I will never do business with you. I will never do anything with you because I can't trust you. Not because you did all that. Like I said, if you wanted to pop open beers and go out and have a good time doing all that, I love you, baby. That's cool. But you told me you were a golfer. You told me you believe in the etiquette. You told me you believe in the rules, and yet you don't. You're a liar. Donald Trump is a lying sack of shit. He will lie about everything he does in his life because that's how he plays golf. He claims to be a club champion. He claims to be a man who believes in the etiquette. He believes in the rules. He can't play around the golf without cheating because he's a cheater. That's Donald Trump. Now, if you're telling me the American people don't fucking care, which apparently they don't, then I love Donald Trump. I love him because we just made the determination that America is a country club without any fucking rules, where the rules of golf don't fucking apply. And all we do as a nation is come in, pop beers, and drive fucking carts on the green and do whatever we want because that's what Donnie J says to do. So if America, you want him to be your president, God, I hope he's elected president. Because I will tell you that. I'll take that mess over this shit we get with the Biden administration every day of the week. Because that mess, even though he's a liar, there's some honesty to that mess. Yeah. Because the interesting thing about liars like that is they know they're lying.
Right.
And everybody knows he's lying. They're playing a game, but it's a harmless game. It's just a little, they're not really trying to hurt anybody. He's just trying to get a better golf score on the golf cart. That's all he's trying to do. Joe Biden is killing people. Joe Biden is a liar. Joe Biden is protecting the most dangerous child predator in America today, who is Hunter Biden. This is what Joe Biden's doing, and the Department of Justice, which is supposed to be defending us, taking his orders to go after Donnie J. So the hell with that system. We need Donald Trump.
Wow.
Because Donald Trump is the antithesis of that system, and this system needs to die.
Wow, man. I think a lot of people are going to like this video, Scott. You've redeemed yourself, even though
well, I know. Well, first of all, anybody thinks I have to redeem myself, let me give you a quick message. Fuck you. I don't have to redeem myself with anybody. I believe this the whole time. You just don't listen to what I say.
No, I understand. No, I look, I get the same thing with the Trumpers because I at times I want a real president. You know what I mean? I grew up. I was old enough to remember Ronald Reagan, and people always ask me, you know, who's your favorite president of all time? And I'm like, Ronald Reagan. I mean, I saw the 80s turn around. I saw a 49 state landslide. I saw people making money. I saw a country that was proud of itself. I saw patriotism for the most part. I mean, there was a few glitches along the way, but in my lifetime, Ronald Reagan, a man who could diffuse his opponents with a joke, and he was classy, and he was funny, and he was intelligent, even though they called him an amiable dunce or whatever.
He was a smart guy. Look, Donald Trump, I believe that, again, I believe Trump supporters are patriotic.
Yeah.
They're a hell of a lot more patriotic than Biden supporters.
Oh, 1,000%.
Okay?
Yeah.
But I'm just going to be straight up, and this is where the Trump supporters are getting mad at me. You guys are dumber than shit. Okay, you're patriotic, but you're dumber than shit. You don't know anything about anything. That's okay, because there isn't a standard to be an American. You just have to be born here, right. All right? Or become a naturalized citizen. The problem with naturalized citizens is they had to pass a test on the Constitution, so they're not dumber than shit. Naturalized citizens are actually pretty cool people because they know the Constitution and they believe in adhering to the Constitution. But your average American born and raised in America doesn't know the Constitution, but will wave the American flag as if they understand what the fuck the Constitution stands for. You are dumber than shit, and that's good. I love you for it because you're honest, and I love the honesty. And what I really appreciate is the fact that you agree with Donald Trump that he could stand on Fifth Avenue, fire a bullet down the street, murder somebody, and you'd still say, I want him to be my president. Okay, I respect this because at least you're taking a stance. At least you're defining who you are. I may not love it. I may not like it. I may not agree with it. God damn it, I respect it. I don't respect anything the Democrats do because they claim to be something that they're not. They claim to support an idea that they don't. They claim to be in support of the rule of law, and yet they allow the Department of Justice to be weaponized. And they put a sack of shit like Joe Biden in the seat of the presidency while he takes money. He's a corrupt, bribe-taking son of a bitch, and he empowers Hunter Biden to continue to operate outside of prison where he's doing horrible things to people that should never have horrible things done to them. The Democrats, straight down the shithole of life. Maybe RFK Jr. can redeem them. Maybe. I have hope for RFK Jr. And if RFK Jr. can become a viable political force, hey, Trumpers, I'm going to him.
Yeah.
All right? Because he's what I believe in. I'm only supporting you because you're the only alternative to this shit mess that Biden's given us. But the moment somebody comes up who says, I believe in the things I believe in, the rule of law, the Constitution, competent government, where you don't have to worry about top secret war plans ending up on the floor of a toilet in Mar-a-Lago, I'll vote for that guy. But I have no faith in the Democratic Party. No. They will never allow an RFK Jr. to get through.
He's not going. Bernie couldn't get anywhere, and RFK Jr. is like 100 times better than Bernie, and he's
we'll see. I mean, like I said, I like to be disappointed. I mean, I not disappointed. That's wrong. I like to be proven wrong when I need to be proven wrong. I made a statement that I think the Democratic Party will strangle a political life out of RFK Jr.
You're right.
Please prove me wrong, RFK. Please be the man that can arise above that. And if you do and you win the Democratic nomination, I will vote for you over Donald J. Trump every day of the week. But if it's a contest between Donald J. and Joey B., Donnie J gets my vote, man. It's there.
All right, man. On that note,
I gotta go.
I'll let you go. This has been fun, and welcome back. Stay safe out there. Enjoy, your time back here. I'm thinking you might want to go to Russia again, though, pretty soon.
No, I like America. I love my country. It needs fixed, and you can't fix something that's broken if you're running away from it.
True. All right, Scott Ritter, thank you again, sir, and see you soon.
Okay, thanks, Dave.